So I'm here to talk about the Will Smith and Chris Rock incident at the Oscars. I know everybody and their mother has commented on this, but as a divorced Asian dad, I just want to talk about it for a minute because it kept on bothering me. I talked about it with my coworkers. I talked about it with my wife. And at first, I was outraged by what happened. I couldn't believe it like everybody else. I couldn't think that was real. I mean, there was no way this was real. And as I looked at the footage and I looked at what happened, I don't think it's a fake. I really don't. I mean, it was just way too outrageous for that. And even though the Oscars were getting less and less viewership over time, I mean, I refuse to believe that this was staged because it was just too outrageous to do that. At first, when I saw Will Smith do that, I was unbelievably shocked because, I mean, I'm of the age where I first saw him on TV as the Fresh Prince, then over the years in his many movies. And I just couldn't believe it because it was against his persona. It was against his public image. And I was unbelievably shocked when I saw that. And at first I was shocked, and then I was understanding of what happened. I mean, I can't condone what he did. I mean, assault is unacceptable in any form or shape or anything else that's reasonable. It's just unconscionable. I mean, we live in a society now that, I mean, you get arrested for that. You get a huge consequence for that, and probably he will. There are supporters out there that said that he was defending his wife and all that, but what I see is someone that is in a toxic relationship for many, many years, and that lost his manhood a piece at a time to the point that he no longer has his manhood. And I can relate. I mean, I've never hit somebody, but I have acted unlike myself because my wife at the time, was offended at something, and I felt I had to react. It was almost Pavlovian. It was just something that the switch just turned on, and there you go. I mean, I was acting out of character as well. I mean, like I said, I'm not condoning his actions. I think that it was totally and completely outrageous, and he needs to apologize to Chris Rock. I mean, not on Twitter or social media in general. I think I need to see, and I think maybe other people might agree with me, that he needs to see Chris Rock eye to eye and apologize to him from the bottom of his heart and make it right. I mean, I still believe he is a man, even though he's lost his way. And everybody makes mistakes. I mean, everybody, especially when you're in a bad relationship. I don't think that he meant to do it. I think he was just triggered by his wife. He was laughing at first, as everybody saw, so he was acting normal like everybody else, but everything went upside down when his wife looked at him, and he knew what he had to do. And there you go. But I understand him. I understand what he did, because I was in a toxic relationship as well, and I did things out of character. I didn't do things that outrageous, but like I said, I mean, one look from my wife at the time, and I did stuff that was out of character as well for me. So, I mean, I forgive Will Smith for doing that. I don't condone it, but I understand it. And I hope that he gets some men around him like Denzel Washington that will right his compass, because it's way off. He's not the man that he should be, or he was. He's completely lost it, and everybody makes mistakes in their lifetime. I mean, it's part of being human, but he needs to find his way back to being a man, and he either needs to have boundaries, or very strong boundaries, with his wife, or he needs to divorce her, because it's way overdue that he heals from it and gets his manhood back. I mean, that's Will Smith. I mean, Chris Rock, I have nothing but respect for him. He's a comedian of the highest caliber, and he just proved on the Oscars that he is also a real man. I mean, to take a hit like that and to regain his composure like that in front of millions of people, and the level of professionalism he displayed, the level of empathy when he apologized to Whoopi Goldberg, that for his part, he ruined her night, or her time at the spotlight. That's unbelievable. I mean, I consider him a goat. I now consider him even a bigger goat, because I'm a comedian myself. And it's hard enough to do a joke. It's hard enough to write a joke, to develop a joke, and to get on stage to do a joke. I mean, we're all alone up there. And we have to deal with hecklers. We have to deal with silence if the joke doesn't go well, but we never had to deal with, assault. I mean, that's completely outrageous. I mean, I have a show on Friday. I have an open mic this coming Thursday, and when I get on stage, I'm going to be thinking about that. Like, if I say something, or if I answer a heckler, is somebody going to get on stage and assault me? Probably not. But now it's on the table. I thought that, universally, that was the line you don't cross. You don't get up on stage and assault somebody. But even though Will Smith apologized, it's out there now. And so he just did a disservice to all the comedians, because now, whether it's real or not real, it's now in our consciousness that, I can't speak for every comedian. I can only speak for myself. But when I write a joke, it's going to be on my mind for a long time. Is this going to be too offensive to the point that I'm going to get assaulted for it? And like I said, with hecklers, I mean, Chris Rock, yeah, most people say, I would say not most people. A lot of people say that the joke was in bad taste. But he was doing what most comedians do, which is called crowd work. He was interacting with the crowd, making fun of them a little bit. I mean, that's what comedians do. He was doing his job in the Oscars. And to be assaulted like that and to have no security, I mean, Chris Rock is a legend at this point, and he was at the Oscars, and there was no security to protect him. I mean, that's unbelievable. And so, I mean, like, every comedian that goes out there, I mean, that's not Chris Rock. That's, a no-name comedian like myself. Semi-famous comedians, every comedian will, I would say, think of that moment when he was doing his job and wonder to him or herself, I mean, is that going to happen to me? I don't know, but I just have the highest respect for Chris Rock. I really do. I've always thought that he was a brilliant comedian. I didn't know he was such a great man. I didn't know that he was such a man's man for doing that, for staying composed, for having the highest level of professionalism. And I hope Will Smith gets better. I hope so. I mean, I was in a toxic relationship myself, and I know what that feels like. I know how, when you get triggered by your wife and you lose all your manhood, and like everybody says, he's a simp. I mean, yeah, but Humans make mistakes. Humans lose their way. And everybody universally liked Will Smith. And now he's tarnished his reputation. But he didn't die. And I really hope that he gets better. I forgive him. I can't condone what he did, like I said, but I understand what he did. But I hope that he gets people around him that will help him to get back to being a man. And that's it for me. Have a good evening.